Happy Friday, Celtics fans. Welcome back to Celtics Catch-Up Episode 10. I'm your host, Vinnie Carbone.
And I'm Brady Levinson.
And today, we got 4 games to recap over the last week. So, without any more time, let's get started.
Good ball fake, one more. Tatum! Oh, he caught one!
It is that time of year since the Celtics have established themselves as one of the best teams in the NBA. People start getting frustrated and mad at Celtics fans. Every time we lose, every time there's a close game against a bad team, they say we're frauds, we don't have what it takes to win a championship. But Brady, us Celtics fans need to stand strong.
We do.
And we need to tell them that we do have what it takes to bring a championship home to Boston.
Yep.
But Saturday, we did unfortunately lose to the Los Angeles Clippers, who we actually beat by 30 early in the year.
And then we get blown out by them this time.
Yes, by over double digits, and it was not a great game all around. I mean, Jaylen Brown and Tatum combined 11 for 31. We didn't have Porzingis, who's out with his ankle sprain. Tatum had a negative 32 plus minus, but
atrocious.
Just not a good showing for Celtics fans. But we did have 2 back-to-back wins in clutch games that we actually played fairly well, which is kind of surprising. And Brady, tell me a little bit about what happened against the Pelicans and the Pacers.
Yeah, so the Pelicans game, I think a big part of that game for us was that Tatum, Brown, and Holiday all combined for 70 points.
Wow.
And I mean, we talked about it last week where the Celtics, I mean, they were having trouble getting those wins in the clutch. But they started off nicely with that win against the Pelicans on Monday. Then we jumped to Tuesday. The Pacers, we've known them to be very, very pesky this season.
Yes.
It was an Aaron Nesmith revenge game. He had 26 points. That's got to be up there for like near career high for him.
It's got to be.
But I think a big part of that game is that all of our starters had at least 17. That was great to see in another very close win, especially on a back-to-back. Also, another note of that game, we had an 81-point first half.
Wow.
Yeah, it was, I believe, like 81-66 that first half. Huge offensive first half for both teams. But once again, great to see the Celtics come out with 2 clutch wins in back-to-back games, as you said.
Yeah, back-to-back is tough. Only one night's rest, but they did score the ball well then. But unfortunately, last night, they did not score the ball in the best way against the Lakers, who were missing their 2 star players. Anthony Davis and LeBron James sat out this game. And Brady, that was just not a good showing. I tuned into the second half, and I was not happy of how my Celtics team played basketball. But what did you see in that game, Brady?
All right, so to start, all of our starters had a negative plus-minus. I mean, you mentioned Tatum's minus 32. None of them were that bad this game, but I think the best was someone had a negative 9, and that was the best.
Yeah.
And our entire bench was a positive, and Delano Banton led the team with a plus 13
That's
plus-minus. So I don't he's having a good impact, but that's where I started with. I'm like, that's not good. Our only starters in double digits were Tatum and Porzingis, who had 23 and 17. It was a great game for Sam Hauser. There's one bright spot we can take out of this game. It was Sam Hauser. He had 17 points, 5 for 9 from 3. But as a whole, the Celtics shot 16 for 48 from 3. Oof. And if we're shooting upwards of 53s and only making a third of them, it's not going to win us any games.
You're never going to win games doing that.
No. And I mean, 33% is not the worst 3-point percentage you've ever seen, but when you're taking 50 of them, you should be making at least, hopefully, upwards in the high 30s, even 40.
Yeah.
And I think the big part of that game that really killed us was at the end of the first half, Lakers ended that on an 11-2 run, and we kind of were down by at least 10 points, anywhere in that range for the rest of the game. So, yeah, overall, just not a good showing against a very shorthanded Lakers team.
Yeah, I really didn't see any urgency from the home team, us the Celtics, to score late in the fourth quarter, even early in the fourth quarter. We thought we were the home team, we were going to come back, we were going to score, they were going to get stops, but they didn't do anything to get stops. I mean, Lakers players got some really easy buckets down the stretch, and at home, it sucks to see that, especially when we only have so many losses. That's our 3rd loss at home now?
Yep.
And it's just heartbreaking to see. But another good thing, you talked about Sam Hauser having a great game coming off the bench. There's also been one player this past week who has really stepped up for the Celtics, and we're going to give him the Hustle Player of the Week award.
First timer.
Yeah, and it is Neemias Queta. Did I say the name right?
Yeah, I think you did.
I think I did.
Very proud.
And he has been just on a tear. He's been getting a lot more minutes. Obviously, Porzingis was injured, so he had to fill in a little bit. He had 7 points and 7 rebounds in 12 minutes versus the Lakers last night. In 10 minutes, he scored 4 points against the Pelicans, and 14 minutes, and he scored another 4 points with this monster throwdown, which we'll show right now on the screen. As you can see, Queta lining up for a jump ball here, gets the tip, but gets the rebound, and he just jumps over 2 defenders and throws it down.
Yep, that's a big momentum shift. I mean, a 4-point game. I ended up going to win that game, I think, by 4 or 5. A huge momentum shifter there early in that fourth quarter.
Massive momentum shifter. I mean, just absolutely gruesome with that throwdown. I mean, disgusting. But yeah,
Yep.
Queta will get the Hustle Player of the Week award. And, I mean, players coming off the bench like that, giving us a spark, especially, that was a 2-point game, Brady.
Yeah.
That was a huge play.
That's huge.
That's a hustle play. That's what we weren't doing
Yep.
against the Lakers.
Yep.
Plays like that. But, yeah, Brady, good job to Queta. Congratulations for the Hustle Player of the Week award.
Yeah, and that's what Celtics fans want to see. They want, especially at the Garden, they want fans to be on their feet. The fans want to be on their feet.
Yeah.
And it's plays like that that get them. And just going back to that Lakers game, there really just wasn't a lot to be excited about in last night's game, which really, I think, even that part is also part of what brought them down. All right, that's going to be all for this edition of Celtics Catch Up. We're now 10 episodes in. We plan on to bringing you more each and every week. Celtics have another home matchup against the Memphis Grizzlies this Sunday. Hopefully, going to bounce back, get another win at home. Hopefully, have more stuff to be excited about.
Yes.
Because right now, we're still in the first Eastern Conference, but we still have a lot to prove if we're going to make a deep run. But for now, Brady and Vinnie signing off. Go Celtics.